3.
Hey man, you know what it is, man. Shout out to Fried Time Media.
Fried Time Media.
Make sure you go subscribe. You
Fried
did.
Time Media, baby.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Time Media. Smash the subscribe and the like button.
I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand and made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me.
Boom! There it is. What's going on, guys? So check it out. As we all know, Donald Trump has taken office and he is going crazy with the executive orders right now. There's a big debate brewing around the 14th Amendment and how the Donald Trump administration will affect the foundational Black American lineage. First of all, let's be real. Although on this channel I'm a strong advocate for reparations, Donald Trump likely won't be the president to give it to us. So here are 5 alternatives, 5 tangible policies that could positively benefit the lineage of foundational Black Americans while we are on the road to ultimate reparations. Number 1, federal recognition and designation. The Freedman Heritage Designation would establish a federal recognition status for descendants of American slaves, similar to how the Native American tribes are recognized, ensuring tailored federal assistance programs would go to our specific and unique lineage from here on out. In the past, Donald Trump has acknowledged our lineage, saying, quote,
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
But by federally recognizing our lineage, that would do a great service to the foundational Black American lineage. That would do a great service to the reparations fight as a whole. And although he wouldn't be granting reparations outright, it would be a significant step in our claim moving forward. Number 2 would be Freedman Tax Incentives. Basically, you provide tax breaks for individuals or families who can trace their lineage to American slavery. This encourages wealth building through savings, investments, or home ownership. Additionally, what this does is encourages foundational Black Americans to do the research on our lineage. Right now, they say we've got about 42 million foundational Black Americans. Some people estimate Black Americans or African Americans to be closer to 49 million. But we've got to do the research to identify our past history and lineage. I know that I am Louis Fry the Fifth, and Louis Fry the First was born in 1903 in Bastrop, Texas. We've done our lineage, and I know how long I've been here and the fact that my family descends from American slaves. So we would be good. But I would encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to do your research on your lineage.
There are 42 million Black Americans, all descendants of slaves. Did you know that's the same size of population as Afghanistan? There are more Black people in the United States than there are people in Canada. Black population is bigger than the population of an entire country. Did you know that there are more Black Americans than the average country? Ghana only got 37 million people, 39. Regardless, we overpopulate them. The idea that we are a minority, it's meaningless. We're a minority only because we live in a country that takes up 1/3 of an entire continent. There are more Black Americans than there are people in California and Texas. Those are the largest states in America. If Black people all gathered in one place, we could have a small country. We are a nation inside of a nation. We are unlike other minorities because we are all the same. We aren't just a race. We are one culture. We don't come from different nations, different cultural backgrounds. We represent one culture, one identity. Stop letting the diasporic people trick you out your spot. We don't need to look to the diaspora for identities with 42 million strong, bigger than the average African nation, under one tribe, not segmented people under the guise of a nation, but one people under one identity. We have accomplished more in this nation than fully black nations with black leadership. People's opinions about who we are is irrelevant. At this point, 42 million people, doesn't matter what happened 400 years ago. Doesn't matter from the different places we came from. All of that is long gone. The only thing that matters is that we're here now. We're looking to the future that we're about to build. We are in the coming of a black Renaissance era. It will not be missed because people are looking to the past and to the diaspora for answers when they have none. It's time to let all of that go. None of that stuff matters anymore. We are here. We're not going nowhere with 42 million people. Let that sink in. 42 million. We are a nation.
Man, that sister was cooking, wasn't she? If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. But with that being said, number 3, the Freedman Infrastructure Investment Fund. Now, in Donald Trump's first term, he was pushing the opportunity zones, which called for investing in historically underserved areas, right? Places like North Carolina, Detroit, Georgia. So the Freedman Infrastructure Investment Fund would be something similar, where you would establish a fund to rebuild infrastructure in historically black communities, which were affected by systemic neglect, specifically benefiting the descendants of slaves. This would be a win-win situation because Donald Trump is also pushing the Make America Great Again narrative, right? So what better way to make America great than to invest in the infrastructure, the roads, the bridges, the cities where Americans live?
To lift up underserved communities across the nation, our tax cuts created nearly 9,000 opportunity zones. Again, Tim Scott, including more than 250 right here in North Carolina. So that's something. 250 in North Carolina. Long-term investment in these communities is now taxed at 0. These deserving communities have not known opportunity in a long time, but now the investments are flooding in, creating energy and creating excitement like they haven't seen for a long time.
Now, I live in DC, so I can tell you firsthand, our roads are horrible. DC, if you didn't know, is considered Chocolate City. You've got a very high population of foundational black Americans living in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So we could directly benefit from a infrastructure bill which is specifically targeted at benefiting the areas where freedmen live in high concentrations. But with that being said, number 4, the Freedman Workforce Advancement Initiative. Essentially, you would develop a federal program to train and place descendants of American slaves in high demand industries such as technology, healthcare, green energy. Basically, we see that right now, Donald Trump is in the process of kicking a lot of people out of the country. These people had jobs and those jobs need to be filled. What better way to utilize your untapped talent than to train the descendants of American slaves with skills that are going to be in high demand?
More money for you. You working. No more money for you. Bye-bye.
Go back across the
No more money for you. No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. No more money for you.
Take your ass.
Now, we've seen illegal immigrants come to this country and call black Americans lazy, saying, oh, you don't work hard and we're going to replace you. Well, those days are done. Black Americans are not lazy. We are just demanding fair wages for good work. And now that we're getting these illegal scabs out of the way, it's time to invest in the foundational Black Americans of this country. All right, guys, so before we get into the fifth and final tangible policy that Donald Trump could realistically offer foundational Black Americans and our Freedman lineage, I want to ask you to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. You already knew where I was going with that. Hit the thumbs up button, man. And if you haven't done so already, smash subscribe for more content just like this. With that being said, number 5. Expungement and restitution programs. These programs that Trump could offer would expunge nonviolent criminal records and provide economic restitution to individuals disproportionately affected by discriminatory policing practices. We know that in Donald Trump's first term, he instituted the First Step Act, in which he released thousands of nonviolent criminal offenders. In his second term, I would be looking for him to release a Second Step Act, which would include the expungement of nonviolent crimes such as marijuana possession. There are people who to this day have trouble finding jobs or getting adequate living situations just because they have a criminal record for a nonviolent possession of some type of drug or narcotic. Now, Donald Trump, being that he himself is a felon, should understand how the judicial system can railroad people for nonviolent crimes at the whims of others who might not like the offender. So I'd be looking for a Second Step Act coming from Donald Trump. But hey guys, that's the top 5 tangible policies that are realistic that Donald Trump could institute during his time in service, during his time as president. So we'll be on the lookout, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. With that being said, check out this bonus footage, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Let me also circle back to something else that Jessica was remiss not to mention. The First Step Act. When we went into the White House, and everyone else said that we shouldn't have gone into that White House, we walked out to date with more than 25,000 people released from federal prison. Wow. 25,000 people released from federal prison. 94%, Jessica can correct me on the stats, but 94% of the people who got released under crack cocaine provision alone happen to be blacks. Wow. African Americans.
I done ran up all these bands up and had made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up and had made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, there ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up, it ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man, it ain't no stopping me. Got bands,